It's on.
Good afternoon. This is Gail Charette, and I'm calling this meeting of the Yarmouth Commission on Disabilities to order. Sarah will now read the open meeting law. Thank you, Sarah.
All right. This is to formally advise that as required by Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Sections 18 to 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, that was very dramatic, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, as extended by Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. The Yarmouth Commission on Disability will hold a public meeting on Thursday, March 14th, 2024 at 3:00 p.m. at Yarmouth Town Hall, 1146 Route 28, South Yarmouth. The public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided on the agenda. Before we turn to the first item on the agenda, permit me to cover some ground rules. Our chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. If you're participating remotely, which so far we don't have anyone, but if we do, please remember to unmute your microphone and face the microphone on your computer when you're recognized to speak so you can be heard clearly, and then mute on the Zoom app or mobile phone when you're not speaking. When a participant wishes to interject a question or comment, please wave your hand, and we will now proceed with the meeting.
As a preliminary matter, I will confirm for the record the members and staff present and that they can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Jean Boyle, Vice Chair.
Here.
Drew Kraus, Clerk.
Here.
Jessica Simmons.
Here.
Mary Vilboin.
Here.
Gail Charette, Chair. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Sarah O'Reilly.
Here.
Thank you. Before we begin, does anyone wish to make any changes to the agenda? Okay. So I'd like to welcome our guest speaker today, and I'm going to turn it over to Mary, since you invited Marabella. So you can just,
So at our last meeting, we talked that we would like to have CCRTA come in and just share with us what they do have for people with disabilities. So I contacted Mariella and Kathy. And Mariella was kind enough to join us today. So thank you so much for coming.
Very
We
welcome.
really appreciate it, because the more we can learn,
Sure.
the more we can spread the word about the great things you guys are doing.
My pleasure.
The floor is yours.
Mhm.
and I should say one thing I forgot. John Mitchell, he's not exactly one of us as yet, right? Right, but he's thinking, and we're very happy to have you here, and I'm sorry that I didn't recognize you. Thank you. Okay.
All righty. My name is Mariella Cordero. I'm Executive Assistant to Tom Care Administrator at Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority and staff. And I'm here today to just briefly explain a little bit about our services, and it's transportation. We have fixed route service that anyone can use. We have DART, door-to-door, dial ride. You have to call and schedule those in advance, preferably in advance. If it's, let's say tomorrow, you should have called by 12 noon the latest to get a guaranteed next day ride. Doesn't mean that we won't try. We get cancellations all the time. We also have our Smart DART. It's like an Uber. It's an app that you can download on your phone, either Android or iPhone. And it's a $3 flat fee, which is excellent, because if you're not on a fixed route, Smart DART can pick you up and bring you to a fixed route location so you can hop on the bus and get to where you need to get to. Hello. Hi. Something that we're so excited about and proud to announce is that individuals 60 years of age or older and individuals with disabilities are now free fares on our fixed route service.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they stay reduced.
me.
Yeah. So free fares permanently for 60 and over and individuals with disabilities. They'd still have to go through the whole approval process, not 60 and over, of course, the disabled. They have to either have a Medicare card, disability letter from whoever disables them, SSDI, DTA, because I guess when they apply for SSDI, they still get assistance and they approve temporarily. So, or if they work with DDS, MRC, any of those organizations, or medical. So on our website, there's the TAP form and the ADA form application they can fill out by their physician. They fill out their part or their advocate, and then they present that form to their physician, at which point they have it filled out. They can fax it into the RTA. The information is on the website, should be on the application if I'm not mistaken. Once I get it, I review it. If it's approved, I produce a approval letter, which I mail to them, and it gives them instruction to follow, which is to give me a call to book an appointment to come in to get their now Go card. It was the Charlie card, but we created our own card, and everyone's so excited. I
Mhm.
just mailed yesterday 81 senior Go cards into Brewster. So we're doing presentations, we're coming out to COAs, we're coming out. You guys can request for us to come here and have a session and just announce to people in Yarmouth that we're here to take their pictures and produce their cards. We'll send it in the mail, of course. We can take the pictures, they'll fill out the ID forms. I take the ID forms, I email the image that I take with their name, so I know, of course, whose form is who. When I get to work, I produce their cards. So just make it easy for the
How long
adults.
does that whole process take for someone?
Medical
Yeah, from start to
for the
finish.
disabled?
Yeah.
They would have to, I mean, it depends on how quickly I get the application
From the doctor.
from the doctor.
Okay.
So if they go today, they were fortunate enough to get this application filled out, and you got it to me today, I have 21 days to work on it, but I usually, when I get it in my hand, I'm already working on it.
Okay.
So it doesn't take me, it takes me less than 3 days to get it.
So it's not like months, it takes.
No,
a
it's pretty
couple of
quick.
weeks. Okay.
It's all on the individual to get that application filled out.
Right, okay.
And if it's someone, for example, that's like the Mass Commission for the Blind, they just get that certificate to me and it's immediately approved. So everything is really on the, I think, did I put in my application?
And have you done that with the, sorry, I'm asking. questions.
No, that's what I'm here
That's
for.
good.
So have you worked with the Yarmouth Senior Center?
That was my
Not yet,
question too. Okay.
not yet. I have that one on the 19th.
Oh, good.
yes.
So you have it scheduled.
Yes,
Oh, Great.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah, just this morning I was at Sandwich COA
Okay,
for sight loss, doing a travel
Excellent.
training. Yeah, and then I'll be,
So March 9th, like next week?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Tom will be there.
Now, what about people that have clients, like, nonprofit organizations? Do you also go to their establishment and talk to
If
them?
they request
Okay,
us to be present,
okay, so
they
we
can
might wanna
email us. Yeah.
bring that up
absolutely.
too, 'cause that's important.
Just email the request, and then once we have our board meetings, our staff meetings, I'm sorry, we discuss it and we can make it happen. We can make it happen, of
Because if
course.
we're gonna be, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry. No,
We
I
don't
just,
need to
I
rush
know.
it.
I'm like, I have,
It's okay.
well, I'm just thinking about, so how do consumers know that you're going to be at the senior center? How is that being publicized?
So if you're asking me to go and
Yeah.
be present, you're advertising to the people that you want
Okay.
to be there.
Okay. Because I just want to follow up with our senior center
Yeah.
and make sure that they're in touch with our communications person and
Sure.
that she's putting it on the
Now,
town
I
website in
don't
addition to
think-
like the.
So the COA,
Uh-huh. You
one of
work-
it, on the 19th, I'm going to COA for a sight loss travel training. So they have, I think Tom is the contact person for that day.
Mhm.
But the COA, you can reach out to my HR manager, which is Linda Landry. And the COA, if you reach out to the COA director, she will know. So she'll talk to Linda, Linda will set it up. I will either go with Linda or Linda will go herself, because she's the one that really handles all the COAs. I'm going to the COA specifically for this sight loss program,
Okay.
for travel training. But everywhere that I go, or that we go, whoever goes, we advertise everything in general.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't just focus on one thing. So if they know someone, if they have a family member that's disabled, they'll go, oh, okay, I can do this for them. So besides me being there to help them, they go with the knowledge, be able to help others.
It's a great resource to put on our
Yeah.
Do you
website.
happen to
Yeah.
know
Thanks,
who you're working with at the Yarmouth Senior Center by chance?
The Yarmouth Senior Center, well, it's Martha Person Sight Loss Program.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
it's
so
not
it's-
actually
no,
directly
They
through
just
the.
use their facility.
Oh, I see.
one of their,
Okay,
Meeting
okay.
rooms, yeah,
okay.
so we can meet. But if you want to connect, you get in touch with the senior center and just ask them about it. They should know because Linda
Yeah.
has sent out this form. Make copies for yourself. I brought it. Thank you. I brought it. This is what
Okay.
we're doing. This is our new program. I hope I have enough. If you don't,
Can share.
please share.
Okay. Great. Sorry to interrupt. You're probably gonna answer all our questions if we just let you talk.
No, I probably wasn't gonna talk about COA. I wasn't gonna mention sight loss. We just do different presentations where we're asked to be.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm thinking, there's a lot of people that like have neighbors, right, that they're elderly and
Mhm.
they probably would never even heard about this. Maybe they don't go to the senior center and they don't do other things. So maybe like, and I'm just thinking outside of the box, but maybe as a person that lives in the neighborhood, just have flyers and just go to your neighbor and say, hey, pass this on. This way, it's
That's
one-on-one
true.
communication, because I
Yeah.
think that's really a good way of,
Yeah.
getting the word
So our
out.
drivers are getting it out. I know that Kathy has posted on our social media, radio stations. I haven't seen it on TV, but I will ask. But
Does your webpage have a link right to this information? Because I'm wondering if we could link it from our Commission on Disability page. Send a link
I
right to
don't
this
know. I
program.
can check for you. If
Okay.
we don't, I can definitely ask Kathy
Okay,
to create.
I think that
something.
would be great,
would
because
be
then
nice.
we could put a link right to this, you know what I mean?
Thing too, if you could put something on the public access television
Right,
channel
that's what I
that
was,
just goes
I wanna
through
talk
and
to
directs them
Lori,
to the
yeah.
website.
Then we could put it on Milestone too. We could just have a little, flyer,
Yeah.
blurb or something like that too, constantly.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So you
And
haven't even done your presentation, we're already.
well, no, this is a part of it. That's what we're here for, is to answer questions and to just.
Yeah, the
give you
biggest-
I gave you the printout. I didn't have enough for you guys. Did you get one? Okay, it's a little slideshow. I just printed it. PowerPoint, so you guys can. have it. You got one? Oh, wonderful. I have an extra one too if you need it. But that's basically, it kind of tells you all of the services that we provided. I edited a little bit earlier today about the free fares for 60, individual 60 and over. A lot of people thought it was 65 and we're like, no. Cape Cod RTA, we do the 60 and over.
Do they come down the street here? I mean, I don't know,
28.
I'm 28.
That's our fixed route,
And do you
28
have like
flag down
poles
service.
with a sign that, drop off or anything like
There's
that?
one right
there's-
next door, right in
I-
front of the
Yeah, I
um
mean, I
state
don't use it,
police.
so I don't know.
In front of the
Right,
state
it's right
police,
in
there
front
is there's a
Okay.
shelter there, but it's a flag down service. So if you're anywhere along the fixed route on a safe
Oh,
spot,
really?
you could just wave them down.
Oh, I gotta put
So
in
that,
my
all
list.
that information that we're talking about isn't
Yeah.
here.
Okay,
And
good.
it's kind of funny because we had people from Germany in town the other day and they, I could not believe they came from Boston to Cape Cod and just relied on public transportation.
My goodness.
I felt sorry. We ended up calling them an Uber because they were trying to get to the transportation center to
Oh
get their
my
bus to
gosh.
get back to Boston.
No way.
Yeah. So we're like, oh no, we have no idea what time the bus is coming by.
It would be nice if they had the app
Island
for our smart card. $3. Would have gotten them from here to the station.
We didn't even think of that at the time. But I was gonna say, what, the staff, they knew we were meeting with you today.
Yeah.
And so, just because we get so much, 22,000 people come through the visitor center right here in West Yarmouth.
Yeah.
It would be great if there was even just a signpost that said CCRT so that people realized
Mhm.
that
there's a
they could
bus.
just stand right there by the visitor
No,
center.
that's
because
really true.
the number of ones, we have this, are we the first place number of visa students, probably for
Oh.
housing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yarmouth is, I think we have over close to 500 J1s in the
Wow.
summer months, so they're trying to get back and forth the
Mhm.
towns, and they always come in like, how do I get the bus here? So
Wow.
we tell them to flag them, but if they had a sign there right by the visitor center, where a lot of them tend to,
Yeah, because I mean,
because their housing is right there as well.
nobody
Okay.
told them how they're gonna know.
Right.
I'm flagging, you know,
Exactly.
I didn't know anything. I would look for a sign or
And whoever's
something.
sponsoring them should also maybe give them a little,
Well, we try to give them a welcome packet,
Mhm.
every year in June,
yeah.
but we never reach them all, so.
I get a lot of J1s coming over to get their passes,
Yeah.
their 31-day passes.
Yeah. But if there was a sign there, I think it would be.
Yeah, definitely bring it up to Kathy. You can also email her about it.
Do we-
I'll send it to her,
Okay.
because she's the one that gives those
Ideas.
orders.
Alright, I'll do that.
I
Do-
put her on the spot.
Do we have benches?
We were working on that. I'm not
Well,
sure
if you
where they
do the
stand.
benches, you can actually put something on the bench and you can even get restaurants or get other business owners to, be part of it and they can, contribute. And
Yeah.
that could be their the advertisement. And this way, no, it won't work out.
Signed by law.
Oh, really? That's not gonna work. Oh, I didn't know that.
Signed by law.
We were trying to have shelters
Oh,
out
I'm
there
surprised, yeah.
with benches in them, for people to, I love the ones in Boston where they're heated.
Yeah.
Like, wow, won't be bad to wait in here.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like heated. Yeah,
Okay,
I was so
that's good to-
surprised, but I'll
Yeah.
definitely bring it up to Kathy and Tom and see what we can do. For sure. What else? Ask
So,
away.
the only thing I have is, I just want to wrap my head around this. So somebody that lives in Mashpee and wants to come here to Yarmouth, how would they get here in a relatively convenient way?
There's really
They
not a
don't.
convenient one.
Drive in their car.
So there's no convenient way,
Just
even,
kidding.
even with,
So we are looking to expand Smart Dart, which
Okay.
could potentially pick you up at home. Begins at 7:30 in the morning. You can start booking your transportation at 7:30, depending on what time you have to be in Yarmouth. And it could take you to the Hyannis Transportation Center, at which point you can grab a fixed route for free if you're disabled and you have the Go card, or $2 to come down. But or another Smart Dart, because it's a free transfer. So for $3, they'll pick you up, bring you over to the bus station. You transfer onto another little Smart Dart that'll bring you to where you need to go in Yarmouth.
So has that changed in very recent, because we hired someone with a disability, I was mentioning to you before the meeting. I guess it probably was 9 months or a year ago at this point. And he lives in Mashpee and we were all excited to have him. And it was a part-time position. So it was like a 4-hour shift. And it was going to take him 4 hours round trip to get here and back from Mashpee. So it just wasn't worthwhile for him to work here because it was an entry-level position and he was going to spend 8 hours with travel time, to get
So
here.
we don't have Smart Dart in Mashpee.
Oh, okay.
yet.
That's.
So we're
that's
looking to
probably
expand. That's probably why that didn't work.
what- Okay.
So as of right now, the Smart Dart is not an option in Mashpee.
Uh,
Falmouth, yes, they'll bring you to a fixed route location and you can hop on the fixed
I
route
see.
and then come up.
what about
Any
the-
idea when that's gonna be expanded?
KJ told me maybe end of April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So that's.
End of
maybe
April.
April.
Yeah, just end of April. So I
Cause
mean,
I'd
I would
love
just
to
keep an
follow
eye
up
on
with
our
him
website.
if there was,
Sure.
if
Any
that
chance that-
changes,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did expand a little bit into Dennis. And so we have Barnstable Sandwich zone, that's zone 1, and then zone 2, Barnstable, Yarmouth, Dennis, and then zone 3 is Falmouth, all of Falmouth.
Okay,
It was limited in Falmouth. but they expanded.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
I can't wait for the full
This is
expansion.
pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
it's
The
great.
Smart Dart thing. I'd never heard of it before
Yeah?
this minute. Yeah. How long, when did it start? How long ago?
I started back in,
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
21.
been
Smart
around.
Dart
a
has
little
been
bit.
around for 5 or 6 years.
yeah, that's true, because I was in the call center I was behind the scenes. I was doing the PT ones.
I just
So
knew
I
you
was,
talked, yeah.
but I did hear Henry, one of our schedulers, always say, I love the Smart Dart. This is so
Yeah.
convenient for me. And so, yeah, it's been around
I'm
quite
in-
some
I'm
time.
being clued in.
So that's the one Christina uses.
Right, but how many people are on Smart Down? How many does it hold? 12, 14?
No. Smart Dart is individual. It's like an
Oh.
Uber, like you order a cab.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, now the Dart dial a ride, the one that you book in advance,
Mhm.
that is a Dart ride.
Okay,
Yeah. If there are people that are gonna ride that day, if you could one day book a ride and you're gonna be riding.
okay, so that explains, because I'm thinking about, hiring a disabled individuals and so they can catch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
that
dial ride is
expands it.
excellent. A lot of people, because it takes you home.
Yeah, that's
Literally.
door to door, very convenient,
Mhm.
convenient and time efficient.
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so.
And also if they have a wheelchair, if they're in a wheelchair.
We have lifts. Just have to,
Okay.
you just have to mention it.
Gee,
Yeah.
They'll send you the appropriate ones. Yeah.
I like that. That's
may have changed by now, but one of the things that I thought that was very strange is our talking, kidding, if you were at the phone call center. The thing that struck me as very strange is I was paying for 2 years. And then fortunately, a friend of mine's father, who was a hockey player, he had said to me why I was asking why I was paying. I said, "Well, everyone pays." He said, no, to pay, what you're supposed to fill out the form through your PCP. It goes, you guys, you evaluate it, and then I'm approved, and then it was a free ride. The difficulty was is that knowledge, unless he said something to me about filling out the form. and
The
getting it
ADA form.
into one.
The
Yeah.
ADA is $2.50
Oh,
flat
this was
rate.
free. So-
No, there's no free. Maybe he's misunderstanding, but ADA will take you for $2.50 anywhere that the DART bus cannot. It'll go 3/4 of a mile off the fixed route
Yeah.
to pick you up and bring you and connect you for a max of $5. So if the DART can't do it, they'll call a cab
Right.
and bring you over, and it can connect you from P-Town. You have to go to Falmouth. Your max is $5,
That was the
but it's
other
not completely
question.
free.
I had a physical therapy sandwich at Spalding. So I had to get a cab to Hyannis, pick up a bus in Hyannis, and transfer, whatever.
Mhm.
Take that to another bus, transfer from the bus to Sandwich.
Mhm.
It was a long trip
Yeah,
and
for
I
4
didn't
miles.
think I was there.
Yeah.
And I had lost my license.
So
'cause of
if
the
you didn't have
time
the
it's-
ADA, that's probably why. So if you could
No,
get that
I-
application filled out and get approved for ADA and you spreadsheet. And when you go to book an ADA ride, then they would know. Oh, they're not sure you are indeed ADA eligible. They'll call. I'll open my spreadsheet and confirm that you are indeed ADA
I remember
eligible.
that.
Mhm.
So that is a choke point, like people in need getting clear
Even knowing.
information.
That they
Yeah.
have to show
Knowing.
that.
Knowing in a clear and precise way
You know, maybe
exactly what they
I
gotta
think
do.
that the free, it's because sometimes the cab companies themselves, they don't collect the 250. They
I
don't want
see.
it, they don't care, your ADA, they don't
Okay.
want to do it,
That
but they're
makes sense.
supposed to
Mhm.
but they don't.
Officially,
And it's all
they're
right, they're
supposed to.
officially supposed to, yeah, collect the $2.50. PT1 is different, PT1 is mass health.
I see.
So PT1 is prescription for transportation if you
I
have
see.
mass health standard. I used to do PT1s.
Yeah,
I used to
spoke you all
schedule
the
rides.
time then.
Yeah, I'm Mariella.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
Not the PT one's medical transportation.
For medical only, yeah, I know. That bothers me a lot because there's so many other things that people need to do. But yeah, just
Absolutely.
medical therapy, physical therapy, anything medical.
I went to my doctor and he found a clot. And whoever was driving that day, they dropped everything. Drove me right to the hospital. I was like, holy cow. Very thoughtful, you guys.
Thank you, that's what
Great
we
job.
tried. Well, Tom is very adamant about customer service and doing the right thing.
Well, guess what? We are now at
I'm sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
now with-
Ask
Do
away.
many of the vehicles have lifts?
I don't know exactly how many, but most of them do. And that's why we always encourage whoever's booking their ride
To make sure
to
you say
make
that.
sure you
Yeah.
mention that you're gonna need a
Yeah.
lift.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
we're now approaching 3:25, so we're
Yeah.
gonna be wrapping this down. Are there any
I
other
do, I
questions?
have one more quick
Sure.
question.
Go ahead.
It's
No
more of
problem.
a scenario type of question. If somebody had the dial-a-ride service, and I think the card was $15 a month. Hadn't changed, nothing about their transportation had changed, the amount of days a week that they were scheduled for, but their card went from 15 to 25. And now they're being told that they're an ADA rider, so that all changed, but the consumer themselves didn't make the changes. How does something like that happen?
so Dart door to door is completely different. So, and ADA is different. So those are different passes. So our Dart pass is $22.50. It allows you 20 rides for the price of 15. Each time they pick you up at home, they'll cross off one ride. When they pick you up at the medical or marshal to bring you back home, they'll cross it again, right? But if you're doing an ADA ride, you have to have another pass or you have to pay with cash, exact change, because they don't have change to make. That'll be $2.50. So you're gonna either buy single ride ADA passes. Like I have many clients that call me and I have to mail them 45, 50 passes, 75 passes, and they pay for it over the phone with me. So you won't really owe. If you buy in excessive passes, then you don't need them anymore. Maybe we can do something, maybe get you a refund, but they're completely different. So the door to door is door to door. Whatever that they can't do ADA wise. So if they book a Dart as an ADA, you're gonna be paying that fee, $2.50, not punching the yellow pass. I know it's a little
Right.
confusing.
Well, somehow they got switched from one to another without requesting the switch. So I'll probably have to, like, as a general question, it's not easy to figure out.
So call me.
Yeah.
Because maybe I can look up the
Right.
person.
Yeah. that's
Right.
I
what I'm
can
thinking.
call
That would be
operations
the-
and kind of try to figure out what happened,
That would be it.
when it happened, because I can look up the individual's file
Yeah.
and see why it changed, when it changed.
I was just
The only
wondering
way it'll change is if they request a change. I
Right.
can't make someone ADA.
if That's where the confusion, I was just
Yeah.
wondering if there was like a program change that they were unaware of perhaps. but-
No.
Yeah.
No, so there's a TAP application, reduced fare application, and there's part C of that application, right? That the doctor fills out. It's simple, but there are codes that they put in there that, oh, well, they should have filled out the ADA. So I'm just gonna keep this form and make it ADA, because the codes that came in there, they're ADA eligible. They can request an ADA ride, which is more convenient, really.
Mhm.
You know, because whatever the Dart can do, they can go outside the box and make it happen by deviating, you know what I mean? But that's the only way that that can happen. We don't just change them.
Right.
We'll let them know. We send out the specific letter. We have 2 approval letters. I have the reduced fare letter and I have the ADA approval, which is all reduced and everything, but with that benefit that we can go outside.
I
So
think
call
Chris
me,
had-
I'll give you my card and then we can go into depth.
And
Just one question, I know we should probably get going.
I'm
but
not in a rush.
It's very nice to meet you. My name is Chris Sling and I represent Mr. Dennis in Yarmouth. Whenever the Yarmouth Commission on Disabilities wants me at their meeting, I'll always be here. And so they asked me to be here today. And I'm so glad that they did because it's lovely to meet you and I'm not familiar with this program. So this is going to be a huge benefit to the good people of Yarmouth. Just a question, and I know this is a newer program that started February 1st, but are there any concerns on your end around capacity from a workforce perspective, vehicle perspective? Like, do you feel like operationally speaking, are there any concerns around being able to meet the demand that you might experience, or do you feel like because you're rolling this out in specific geographic regions that you feel like you can maintain the demand?
We feel that we can maintain the demand because it's for our fixed route services.
Okay.
The services that ride every single day.
Okay.
I think we're excited because we're gonna get a lot of people coming out that wouldn't usually go out because they're on a fixed income and they don't have that $1. Or, they looked forward to the free Wednesdays for seniors, everybody would come out on Fridays. So now they can spread it out over the days of the week. So we're not really concerned. We're excited about it. We're prepared. I mean, we're so prepared, we're expanding.
That's great to hear.
We're
I just think
expanding
This is gonna
and,
be a very
Yeah.
popular program.
and
so-
remember, extending our hours, Memorial Day to Labor Day. And Tom wants to expand services in general. So
That's
we're
great to
working on
hear.
a lot of
Excellent.
different projects. So just keep an eye on our website and you'll see all of the changes. And you guys can also be our advocate, get the word out there.
We certainly will.
Keep up
Thank
the
you
great
very
work.
much.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no,
If
very
you
good.
need anything from me, if you want to email you any flyers, or if you want me to maybe keep you updated on what's going on, I'll give you my card and just reach out and I can email you or mail. I can send the guys
Yeah, and I'll con-
to bring writer's guides.
Thank you.
So on June 21st, we should have new summer guides.
June 21st.
Yeah. So this is what June 21st.
Yeah, that'll be.
But this doesn't run all year round then? You said it
The
stops?
fixed route runs year round.
Okay, it's
We
the,
have at a limited service.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you have to go to school for this education.
All right.
This is hard.
I got,
Oh, you got that.
don't you remember?
Oh, I forgot.
There's a lot to this. Well, you know what? I'm going to thank you very much for sharing all this information.
You're very
We will do our
welcome.
best
No, not
to
at all.
promote
Sure.
All
what
right.
you need to do.
And if you need to, if you want to organize any classes, any
Yeah.
travel trainings. you can do
Okay,
that.
good.
Just
Yeah,
reach
maybe
out.
that's what, yeah, we can do that as a
Yeah.
disability committee.
Yeah,
That'd be kind of nice.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That line, I'll get right in.
That's right. You're very welcome.
This is great.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank
It's
you.
really
Absolutely.
good information.
Anytime you need us, we are ready.
Awesome.
We'll make time.
You can,
What is
if,
the protocol if they knew absolutely nothing about? Because. You go about determining what the best line would be. For you. Or how would you even get that information to the person? You know what I mean? It's like, well, my situation, I had no idea. If there was even a bus that would drive me around and to find out there was PT1. And these are all things that.
Well,
should-
we no longer do PT1s, and PT1s really supposed to be recommended by your physician.
Right, that's-
It's really private. They have to request Mass Health to prescribe you this, and, so that's a completely different thing. Now, we used to, until it was taken away, and I lost my job for a year, and then some called me back. But, yeah, it was,
well, I think they could, somebody could call you and you could just tell them. Right? You
Yeah,
could talk-
absolutely.
So you could just give her a call and take
Okay.
care of
give
it.
me a call.
I mean, I understand his point, right? Like,
If somebody that just doesn't know, like,
Exactly, when you.
To even
right.
make the phone
like, I
call,
wouldn't
yeah,
have
right.
known about a
That's the
lot of
hard
these
part.
No, no, what
programs
I'm
if I
saying is
wasn't in
that-
the job I am.
But that's
Yeah.
our job. That's our job, is to spread the word. That's,
Yeah.
so this is good. So, open
we're trying our
communication,
best
yeah.
to advertise the best way we can. Kathy, I
Yeah.
think, does a great job with marketing and,
Oh.
getting the word out there, but we're trying more things. We want to meet with organizations. That's why we're doing so much travel training. We're going everywhere. Wherever you want us to be, we are.
But
I did a presentation at Duffy, I'm sorry.
I mean, I
the
knew
other
nothing
day.
about this, so I wouldn't
No, I
know.
was gonna say, a friend of ours had a stroke, right? He's
Yeah.
my age, he's 60 years old. And his doctor was the best resource, right? And now Bob gets on the bus right here on Route 28 all the time. He goes out, does his shopping. he-
Wonderful.
Like, that's his lifeline now,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for CCRTA. So, the doctors were, like I said, a wonderful resource for him. They had the information, provided it to his family. And so I think, like you said, we just have to keep spreading the word.
A lot of people don't have computers. They don't have smartphones. They don't, so they have to go out. And we're also doing travel trainings at libraries, to use the computer so they can print out an application. If you spread the word.
Even the social workers, when you talk to senior center, make sure the social workers are involved because they deal with a lot of
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
So that is a big,
That's what
big, big
Linda's, we have
communication.
the senior center's booked. I think I'm in
Yeah.
Chatham next month at the senior center there.
So Yarmouth, you're gonna.
with
go-
Linda. Linda is the one taking care of the senior centers.
Okay.
Can I
have a
take a
business
few
card.
of these?
That's why I
Okay.
took them out, so you can keep them.
Okay, thank you.
So veterans were calling,
I might have Linda's card.
you know,
I think you should have Linda's
Was it
card. I'm sorry,
veterans?
veterans, yeah, disabled veterans, absolutely. That's part of in the application, there's a checkbox. So immediately approved, immediately. They just come in, take their, I think they have to bring their ID. And then we take your picture and get you your go-kart immediately.
Great.
There we go, there's Linda. She,
field trip?
anything COA, this is not checked. Linda Landry.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
pass it on.
Yep,
Let's get the committee to go to town.
absolutely.
We'll take a road trip on CCRTA.
don't
See where
laugh.
we end up.
That's really a good idea. That's a very good idea. How we know how it works.
Just
Right?
one more link. There you go.
Thank you.
I can get you more. if you need. That's all I
Okay.
have for my Linda.
Yes.
I make referrals to TA.
Oh, thank you. Ford, Alexa,
That's my girl. I'm
Marissa.
actually her direct
I took
supervisor.
pictures with them the other, well,
you?
with Marissa for your social media.
Of course.
I was at the youth fair. At the Hyannis. Youth Center. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good turnout, I heard.
very good. The kids were all
I was
over.
there too.
You were.
I
I
was.
didn't see you.
My children are part of the Barnstable Youth Commission, actually.
Oh,
Proud
nice.
mama.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
Just twins, twins.
Wow.
They put on that event, so
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Youth
I
Commission.
saw a lot of kids signing people up and offering a lot of help and.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was good.
So if you need me, if you have any questions, if there's any writer's guides that you want delivered, please let me know. And just reach out. That's really
Awesome.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
Very
for
welcome.
coming.
Thank you
Really
again.
I hope it was informative enough.
Yes.
Marilla, what your name?
Thank
If you want to stay a little bit, you can. If you want to leave, you could just,
I'm gonna head out because I have to, you know how 28 gets.
Yeah,
I
take
have to
that
go take the-
CCRTA, right.
Get there with the traffic and the
Yeah.
sun. I'm like, oh. People are like, "Where's my bus?"
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
I'll be
I would
calling you.
stay, but I
am
have to
going to
get
call you
to.
about some questions anyway.
Please do,
Yeah,
please do.
thank
I have
you.
to take the car back and get my car, because that's Tom's car.
So he's waiting for you.
No, he has the other one, but we go out in that one to do our work, so.
Do you want to take this?
Absolutely.
All the information we did today, and you probably interested.
Thank you
very
so much.
Thank you.
Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Nice
No,
to
let's
meet
take
you.
that off.
Take care.
I failed at my responsibility. I never got to mark on the, so you can skip me.
Is the day?
See you twice.
All right, so the. Hello,
All
Chris.
day, right? All day today?
Yes.
Yarmouth events?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we'll be voting on a couple of topics, Sarah did send out the agenda with voting, so that you guys read that. If anybody did not have a chance to look this over, please don't vote. Okay, thank you. You know what I'm talking about, right? On the agenda, the little word vote that,
Oh, that I
Yeah.
suggested.
which I think was a good idea. Okay, so we're gonna move along to the trackers. This is gonna be really quick. Quest, here's the latest update. The landlord spoke to Jean and Sarah and said that he will be installing an ADA automatic door opener. Once that is completed, a letter will be sent to both the landlord and the concerned citizen for raising this concern. So that was a big
He
milestone.
was fantastic. I just
really-
have to say,
So
he like
willing.
came into my office and he's like, I'm the owner of Sunflower Properties and, can you explain to me what the issue is? Because I want to get it right. And he was
Oh, that's
super,
awesome.
super helpful.
This
Yeah.
This is so important
awesome.
that we continue with this disability commission. It's very important,
I
So
have a
you'll-
question. Now, how did that fellow get contacted?
So we sent the letter
Right.
to both the landlord and the tenant, the
Right.
tenant being Quest, this gentleman is the landlord. And I think he came in and talked to our building commissioner who said,
Okay.
oh, go see Sarah.
Okay, so he directly
And-
responded to the letter.
He
on his
did,
own
yeah, he
initiative.
had it in his hand, yeah.
Great.
And so he came to see me and he said he was meeting with the building commissioner the next day and he had some ideas and this is what he was thinking. And I suggested that he talk to Jean because I knew Jean had been out there and had some ideas as well. And I didn't want to be the middle person, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
he, I think
And
we
he had
connected
it
the two
all
of them.
together.
He
What
did,
he
yeah,
wanted to do was great, to
yeah,
put in that automatic door opener. To have the door open inward
Yeah,
rather than out.
good for him.
Very cooperative, very nice.
So it all worked out well. So-
Excellent.
so- And the last one is the CVS. I neglected to see this on my email. It was sent December 22nd. I apologize. It's about South Yarmouth and it regarding a van accessible. It's missing some signage. So what I did was to make it really simple, instead of, I was gonna ask somebody to take care of it, but I took it upon myself to just do a quick letter to CVS. And just backing up what the state sent to them. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll have Sarah look it over and then she can make her corrections, input, and get it out in the mail. And basically it just says what we do as far as a commission or appointed commission. And recently what the new concern was brought to our attention by the Commonwealth. And it was the Architectural Access Board, the AAB, and which generated a community access monitoring initiative. And the role of what we do, the CAM, is to assess accommodations to ensure it's compliant with the American Disability Act, and in this case, AAB, encloses a copy of the letter. So I'm just backing it up again. And then the commission is required to follow up about a complaint. Please advise the commission to your plans as well as AAB if you are unable to resolve this within the next few weeks. I just wanted to kind of like prop them a little bit because it's been a while and I don't believe they've done anything as yet. And then Sarah will be the individual that they will
What
respond
is the
to.
problem
There's just the signage missing for
there?
vans,
Parking?
van
Oh.
accessibility. Somebody had brought it to the attention
Mhm.
and it didn't come through us.
yeah, so
So-
can I comment on that? Just
Yeah,
so for
sure.
those of you who don't know, if an individual, a community member sees a concern, they have the ability to contact the state and file a complaint. The state then investigates it and gives them a notice saying you have 14 days to respond. They don't have to fix it within 14 days, but they have to respond within 14 days and kind of say what their plan is. And we as the Disability Commission receive a copy of their notice that they're given. So that's how we became aware of it. I want to tweak the letter a little bit just because we don't have any compliance oversight over this.
Well, was
So I
thinking-
just wouldn't, I would take the word require, I
Okay.
haven't seen the letter yet, but I wouldn't put the word required in there just because we don't really have any enforcement
No, I didn't-
obligation.
Yeah, but I didn't make it very, very harsh. It's just that they can get $1,000 per day violation. And if they
Yeah.
didn't get this, I want them to be aware that, somebody could come down hard. But I will be very honest with you. The last one we had, the state never followed up on it.
Is this the AG's office or is this what?
Yeah, this is it right there, the second page.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think eventually what happens is, from what I understand from the building commissioner, is eventually what happens is that the state would contact our building commissioner and ask our building commissioner to investigate,
They
to
did.
go look
They
into
had,
it.
see, this is what they did have, they put local building inspector, then independent living center, I don't know what that is, and then local commission on disability. So that's how we.
But I think it's not till it gets to like that's a notice to make the building commissioner and us aware that a complaint was filed. But I talked to Mark Grills about these a while ago, and I'm pretty
Okay.
sure how it goes is that the building commissioner doesn't immediately do anything. That's a notice to the property owner that they need to fix something. Then later on in the process, the state would contact the building commissioner and request that the building commissioner's office investigate it. That they don't,
got
not,
it.
that initial notice or doesn't prompt
Yeah.
action on the building
So we're not,
commissioner's part.
so we don't have to do anything in our part right now?
I
then?
mean, I think it's fine if you want to sort of, say, we also receive this and we encourage you to look into it
Yeah,
or something along those lines.
Only because remember. that-
Just as long as we're not representing ourselves as an enforcement authority, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, we can
It's
take
just
a
that I
look at
remember
it.
there was one incident where this has been going on for 2 years and still hasn't been resolved. And I don't see, there's nothing coming from the state. So I think the state is expecting the locals, so at least, like you said, we were aware of this. We just wanted to fill you in and give you a reminder. This is
I
what's going
think
on.
our,
Yeah.
I think our,
So,
I think how we've been handling these seems to be working.
Yeah, so
So
we
I
just, yeah,
think we
gently,
just,
yeah, right.
we just,
go along.
awareness, education. I think if we kind of keep in that vein to be working
And
quite
that's what we're
well
doing.
and
Yeah.
we have that fine line of not wanting to alienate our local businesses, but wanting to make them aware when there's a problem. So I think
Yeah.
that's the way we've been approaching and it seems to be working well. I mean,
But
got good-
I'm gonna run that letter by you. That's why you can
Yeah.
clean it
okay,
up, because
sure.
you're the HR person. I'm not.
And we don't have to talk about it here and now, but I might follow up with you on the property that's been pending for 2 years.
I
Okay.
can send you all the
Okay.
ones that are.
Yeah.
And
it's
that's
just-
just
Happy to
that we
follow.
haven't taken the time.
Yeah.
Haven't we haven't
You know what it is?
the
It's,
property.
it's the fact that somebody made the complaint and then nothing gets done, and then it looks like that everybody.
That's
When-
the question I have
when-
about the
when-
CVS thing. Do we know that nothing has been done? Just a question.
By
that
virtue
occurred
of
to me.
driving by and seeing that there's still
just
an
wanted to
issue. It
check
was a
that.
handicap parking issue,
Right,
so it's
yeah.
apparent that there's
Yeah.
not like
So
the
you're aware
right
that-
van accessible
Right.
We-
spot or
We
what.
do know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I just wanted to. get
Just,
that in.
just by virtue of like sight,
yeah,
okay.
seeing it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was.
I'm thinking, if somebody made that effort, to me, I think it means that you should do something, because otherwise people are gonna say, you know what, I'm not gonna bother.
Right?
And we want the public to, okay.
Yep.
Next is nominating committee. We had put together the procedure and it included a
I hate to
nominating
interrupt
committee.
again, but I
We-
missed about, there was a thing about Moby and Shields and
Yeah, but,
Sharkies.
okay,
Are
well,
we- did-
we're not doing the other two
Okay.
because we already know. We're still, sorry about that. So, nominating, I know we are a real small group, there's only 5 of us. We want to keep this same continuity going, so when we expand, it will be done properly, right? And basically, it's just as, though our group is small, we do need 2 volunteers who could follow up with all the members, bring forth the slate of officers. They can also include their names at, I guess, our April meeting. Is it May? that we're
It
gonna-
would be, so it would be, we would reorganize in May,
May, okay, so we'll be voting at our
at
next
following
meeting.
town meeting, because the
Right.
annual town meeting is April
April,
30th.
Right,
So,
so I thought it was May, so that was off. So, thank you for telling me that.
sure.
Anyway, so we're gonna need somebody to, and we can just, find out from the rest of us who would like to be chair, vice chair, and clerk. Okay? Who would like to take that on? Thank you.
So you volunteered to,
I will email everybody and ask their opinions.
That's right.
That's
all.
She's leading the
Okay,
nominating
that's
committee.
fine.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, then that's it.
it.
Okay, so we're all set. All right, do we?
The
does that-
one nominating committee?
Yeah.
Very, it's a lot of power.
Oh,
When you have 5 people.
I
it's-
know, so we're gonna just let that, right? Thank you, Jessica. So now we get into the initiatives. The community access monitoring has been doing an excellent job. We're so happy for you. You guys have been working hard diligently and really moving along. And I just want to throw this out there. Being on the ad hoc committee, reached out to Kathy Williams about what was being done, as if she would be interested in seeing the beaches and parks when we start doing that. And she said, absolutely. So I think it's going to be really good, because then maybe we'll get, the bath all taken care of and things of that nature, because it's kind of like,
Right.
coming from other authority.
Mhm.
Another place.
So do you mind if I comment
ahead,
on
go
that?
for it.
So each time Jean and Drew complete one of these reports, I've been sending them to our Public Works Assistant Director and our Facilities person, and then whoever the director is of that particular building or facility. So they're aware of it as well, so that they can, be taking things into consideration for future planning.
So I was gonna ask, so you guys, thank you, because these
Yeah.
reports are really interesting to read to me,
Yeah,
to see how one building compares to another. And I'm actually really impressed by the town buildings. But I think both of you know, when you did our building, I had a couple of concerns at the visitor center, and I have to say the town staff within 48 hours of you guys submitting your
Okay, the
report.
buildings and grounds guy, I forget his name.
Robert.
Robert
He met us
Nelson.
at the DPW, and I talked a lot with him. He was really supportive of this, and
Right.
he took us into his office and said, look at this, I got all the reports
had all
here, and
the
I'm right on it.
And
And he described what he did. The
The Dun-Tuka satisfaction.
No, and so that's.
He
what
was
I
a good
gonna
guy.
say.
that
We
Rob.
suggested in the report a new one, because you said
like
that
Robert.
kept going on. This is for automatic.
No,
doors.
so the automatic door, I believe is resolved at this point, but the
Oh.
challenge is that the restroom that we use for the public,
Right.
we had a woman in yesterday with a disability. She could not open that door because remember you guys
Yes.
said the pressure?
Right.
What is it,
No,
like 15
The
pounds?
press-
20
Yeah.
pounds?
The force that's required to open the doors.
Supposed to be
The
5.
poor thing
Too
couldn't
much.
open the door. Thankfully, my staff was right there. They went over and opened the door. But the other thing is because it's got so much pressure on it, when she came out, the door was coming at her too
Did
quick.
Robert discuss that with you guys?
No,
No.
so I was just wondering, so,
We need to follow up on
well,
that.
and I mean, do you want me to just follow up and just say, hey, David, Robert, as we go into the season, we really need this taken care of,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if there
Absolutely.
was a process in place.
There isn't.
not specific, other than I gave all the,
Because maybe he's
reports.
ordered a new hinge, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't know that.
Well, it
but-
wouldn't be a bad
But-
idea to communicate.
But throughout the town, wherever we've gone, he measures the doorway.
Yeah, I didn't know they had a thing.
And they're all extremely heavy. Very rarely.
that's probably the biggest issue, wouldn't you say?
It is.
Overall, like when I was reading the
Overall,
reports, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll.
I think
follow up with
Robert would welcome a call because
Okay,
because we talked so much. He talked with you, he talked with us.
yeah, I just didn't want to step on.
There is no
Process
process,
was.
but
Okay.
you
But
could
these-
ask him like, how about the door?
But these reports are
They're great.
so detailed, so thank you both.
And I'd love to hear if he gets down there.
Yeah, I'll
and
let
does it, yeah.
everybody know. I'll send
And
it
the
in.
town, I failed to say, the other person I've been CCing is the town administrator.
Oh, good.
And yeah, and
That's
he
great.
commented too
That's really
on,
good.
yeah,
I
it's
feel
really
good about
And
that.
he
great
gets
work.
copies
So
of-
he
Why don't
does,
we-
yeah.
Can we just make maybe, Mary, would you be the point person to maybe contact whoever?
Mhm.
Not only about your building, but just put be in there, bonnet that other doors are having the same problem.
Yeah, I can just say it was
And-
mentioned at the.
Yeah,
meeting,
right, and then,
their
they can go
strategy.
forward and then, that'd
Sure,
be
I can
cool.
report
Yeah,
out.
and then if they could just get back to you with the answer, that would be good.
So it's supposed to be 5 pounds, 8 pounds, what is it?
5
Okay.
Yeah, 5 pounds, okay.
5 pounds of force.
I think ours is at what, 12 or 14 on that door.
That's, me had a big discussion about that. He actually showed me use that tool even better. He was into it.
Oh, yeah.
On the commission. So any more questions? Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the, this one here has been sitting on my desk for like 2 years, and I'd really like to get results quickly, like today. The YCOD procedures. Everybody's reviewed.
Yes. Unless I am missing something, I did read it, and there is mention under membership that members must be Yarmouth residents. It does state that someone in this position does not have to be,
Okay, that
unless
is,
I missed something.
well, you know
Because
what?
that should
I
be
don't know if we
added in.
really have to put that in here, and I'll tell you why, because this is after they get they're a commission member. So they would have to go through the process of becoming a commission member, who would have to go through the select board. So this
Well,
is
I think
after
it
the
would be
fact.
fine. Majority of commission members shall be Yarmouth residents.
They
with-
have
They
to
have to
all
be,
be.
they have to all be.
You can't be on a
I mean, all
town
the, all
commission.
the.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think it's,
I don't.
I don't think it's
misspoke.
really necessary personally,
You
because, no, because I think that this is a procedure that is for once you become a member. So it's like after the fact. So I don't understand why we have to bother putting it in there. Otherwise, it's gonna delay us another month. I don't really want to do that. I mean, anybody else have a?
I'm kind of with Gail because I think it's already stated that you need to be a Yarmouth resident and to be on the commission, and then this is the procedures.
Where is it stated that you have
Don't
to
worry,
be
Gene,
Yarmouth
it's
resident?
okay.
Where's
Huh?
it,
This isn't gonna screw anything.
where
up.
is it stated?
It won't screw anything
It
up.
is
Gene.
stated on our membership drive, right there. You have to be a voting member. It's
Okay.
stated in the blue book with Yarmouth, from the select board's handbook. Definitely stated there, for not just us, but for all
It's the purpose of the
boards,
commission.
commissions, and committees.
I think we reviewed it once.
So it's already there. This is like after the fact.
Okay.
This is basically just, I mean, not very many other boards even do this. They don't even, but, okay, so anyway,
Can I make
I'm
a
sorry.
couple of comments or questions?
Yep, go ahead.
So on number 3 for our role, it says designed to meet problems of people, maybe meet the needs.
I can't change it. That is part of the law. That is the charge from the state. That has nothing to do with
This
us.
was our procedures. This is the state's procedures.
No, this is our procedures, but this part right here, Article 3 on membership is all about the state related. I took this right from the state verbatim.
So they
And I don't
can't
feel,
change it?
I wouldn't want to change it. I would, because it's part of what the state is. It's a, it's
Is
Well-
this is from the actual
the
charge
actual
of
charge
the
yeah,
disability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of the Disability Commission.
The medical issues in it.
there are, their charges, the charges are very,
Yeah,
yeah,
Not very
I
well
think they're
written.
long-standing and they,
but I mean,
Since
I mean,
before word check.
I mean,
yeah, really,
it's
I
not
think,
even-
seriously.
Coordinate activities of other local groups. That's not.
know,
it's
our
kinda
poorly
charge
written.
To organize other groups. You would do it with other groups. And when appropriate.
About the Constitution. for a long time.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right,
I know.
you're right,
I
but
mean,
it
but
is,
there's
it's
nothing-
not, this is,
but don't you think?
the
we have to
thing that's
state-
interesting about what Gail did here is that from what I understand, none of this is information that was directly created. It's pulling,
Exactly.
materials from other places to
Right.
put it into,
But it's
a
just like if you
document
take it
that's-
out of AI, you can still edit it. Right? I mean,
But see, I disagree. You should keep the way it is, because then when you go and you look at the,
out with
when you look at the charge,
ask you a question.
when you actually look at the charge, it is, it says this, and then people are gonna be confused. That's why I did, I mean, I just think it should be left the way it is.
I hope to see you 2 times tomorrow.
I hope to.
Nice to see you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Take it
you.
easy.
Thank
You
you.
bet. Thanks for
So
having me.
that's the reason why I agree with you, but a lot of this stuff, I mean, I just, like what Sarah said, we took whatever it was, we just planted it from point A to point B, kept it in fact, to be honest with you, the first paragraph, it says the Yarmouth Commission Disability was reinstated on January 10th, 2020 to support. Support is the wrong word. It's to cause the full integration and
So the
participation.
state- I'm just confused. So the state is writing our procedures for us as a local entity?
No, what I'm doing is I'm taking what the law is, the state law, So I'm just taking it verbatim, that's all.
Well, then we have no, I mean, if that's the case, we have no right to even. I mean, is that the case? We just can't edit it, period?
Well,
So-
all right, let me just say this. When we were doing this, Dave was knocking a lot of stuff down that we had done. We were right,
That was the
The chair-
bylaws.
right, well,
But
this
I
is,
see no difference between them.
there,
and
there
the-
isn't any. So what we
So
did,
That's what I'm saying, so.
no,
it's
no,
not
but,
even up for discussion.
but I'm just trying to explain, we were trying to, we had written stuff down. And then he was saying certain things and everything else, so he's making us change it. We must have spent, what, 10 months on it, 2
Oh,
years? on it?
David Body, I'm like, who's Dave?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, yeah.
no,
It's not here.
so what we.
Forgotten that fast. huh?
Yeah, no. So what we did was, I said, okay, so I said, let's just take verbatim, then there can't be any complaints. And that's what we did.
Okay, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm just taking it and I'm just moving it and putting it, I'm condensing it, basically. Nobody reads the book. Nobody reads that blue book
No.
that was given.
Should they?
Yes, they should, because that gives you all
How
the
would that-
information.
I did.
Well, I
First
mean,
time before.
Jessica, read it.
okay, but a lot of people don't read it. A lot of people don't read it. So.
Jean does not read it.
Well, it's just like,
But this is easy.
but you, don't- as the clerk, you don't ensure that all the notices in the agendas are posted in time. That's what this says.
That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't have any page numbers, but this.
So.
Because
that's
it's
what-
supposed to be according to the blue book, there
I know,
should be.
but I'm just saying, like, to adopt these, then,
Sarah is taking care of that.
right.
It's like a-
So that's why I was like, okay, and then Article
It's
4, I
like
was
a-
like, explain what does it mean? We're the liaison members. I don't, but if we're just supposed to adopt this because the state says we're supposed to, then I guess we don't have enough.
State is already
Well, then you're
adopted
telling-
for us.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so there's nothing for us to edit or talk about. It's-
Well,
That's
actually,
what I'm,
no, the state doesn't address. So we have a carousel in the mall.
right,
Those are the things.
Yarmouth had one. We have to address it pertaining to a disability that's not in the state. That would be our function.
Okay, so
Addresses it,
Well,
yeah.
well, let me ask you a question. Does somebody want to write it then according to the way they want to do it? That's fine with me, because I just want something down.
Okay, let's,
I-
okay.
I
this
don't
is-
care.
I
Yes.
think we need procedures. I think it's necessary. I don't think anyone's, except for dear Jessica, gonna read the blue book.
I mean, if you were reading the blue book, this is what you'd be reading. If you were reading Maud, this is what you'd be reading. So
This
to
is
me, this
easy.
is easy. It's just taking it and just putting it and putting it
Stick in the
together.
Is
file.
this just taking the bits and pieces from the blue book that you feel are absolutely relevant to
No.
our cause?
Yes, exactly.
And
Yes.
condensing it, and making it easier.
Yes, that's all it is.
so you're condensing it, so we can still edit a few things. No?
No, guys.
Well, if you want to
I
do
don't
that,
really care, I don't-
well, no, if you want to do that, you know what I'm going to say, then somebody else take over, because I don't have, my eyes are not fresh anymore in
Right,
that.
that's a good point.
So, you know, I see it as, it's fine, it gets me where I need to go, it's a roadmap, it's nothing more. I know that when we came on board, we had nothing, we didn't even have the blue book in 2020. I didn't even know what the heck a word disability commission meant, to be honest with you, I had no clue. So, I mean, I was really backwards, okay? So I looked at it and I say to myself, what do I need? And then a year and a half later, they gave us a book, and I started reading the book and I'm saying, oh, now I get it.
Mhm.
But I said, gee, this is really very, very long for people to go through everything. I said, let's see if we can just kind of, Jean's the one that said, let's try to bring it together. So we did that. So I guess we're gonna be putting this on the back burner, because Mary is a member and she should have talked about it. And
No, I mean, the only thing I had was just a couple of grammatical changes.
Oh, why wouldn't we change grammatical change?
And then just a couple of.
I
words.
just thought it'd be simple just to keep, to
Just
me,
keep it.
Well, why don't you give her your,
then,
what you
yeah.
think needs to be changed?
And we
If
can
it's
change
just
it and then we
couple
can
of-
vote on it. That, we can do
grammatical-
that, but don't go
Okay.
overboard, because, you know,
I
it's not
had 4
necessary.
notes.
Okay, oh, okay. I know, I'm saying,
Instead of the
I
word
meant you,
problems, needs,
don't go
instead of-
overboard, meaning I don't want you to
I
be
don't like that
working
word
on it.
either.
I know, but she didn't like changing it, that's so that if.
Well, I
we
thought
don't-
it'd just be easy.
It's
just
a,
leave
it's a
it
very
alone.
outdated.
I think that's the challenge with this is probably the document that this came from is very, if, history holds true. There's a lot of town
Yeah,
but
documents that are,
99.9% that is absolutely. right. It's
so
just
let's
like
look
if
at the
someone-
changes.
But it's just
Okay.
like someone with a disability, I don't call it a problem, it's a need,
Yeah,
right? It's just becoming so like.
Okay, all right, you know what? I respect that. So you know what we'll do? You bring it to me, I'll retype it.
No, don't retype it. You know what I'll do? Do people know what, oh my God. can- No, in Word, when you put.
track changes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What did you say?
Track changes.
Track change.
So
yeah.
I can put track changes and I can put my suggested edits in red.
And share it with us.
And then, I'll just send it to Gail.
Yeah.
And if she's okay, she can see.
I'll
the
just
very-
retype it and then
No,
I'll.
you won't
You
have
don't have to retype
okay,
it. That's what
okay,
she's saying.
okay.
She can do
All
track
you'll
changes.
see is my small comments. You'll see
Okay.
where I'm taking out a word and adding a
Oh, you
word.
mean, this is
And all you have to do is say accept and it will,
Oh, all right.
accept
do
them.
that
I hear
when-
Yeah, wait until
Okay.
after
Okay,
we'll bring it to the next meeting. We'll
Okay.
put it in the packet and
Okay.
yeah.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
Oh, but you are so difficult.
Okay.
The other
Right.
thing, as long as we're making
Before.
changes and we want to get it right, we should change it to say select board.
oh,
That's
yeah.
correct.
I did change it to Slate Select Board.
No,
I
not
didn't-
I
on,
read this
no.
at
no, no,
9:30
I
the
did.
other night.
Okay, all right, we'll do that too.
Yeah.
I read it this morning.
All right, so I'm glad that we're moving on.
Gotta get it done. I
I'm not ready to
Okay.
move on yet,
So,
unfortunately. I mean to be difficult. Because here's what I want to do. This is, I want to get back on track of why you doing this. You were anxious to get the procedures first. But now you're like, okay, it's not urgent, right? To get this all done, we don't have to vote on the procedures right now.
Mary had said
We
something
can
that
keep
was very,
working on it. It's not an urgent thing.
Mary had said something that I wanted to respect because it's not just about me and she is a member of our board. And I'm trying to tell her that I just follow, that is
She
my,
wants
was-
to get rid of it,
you know,
but
I get
we
rid of
want to
it.
make it right.
right.
And
So,
it's important to have these procedures because why can't we just have the blue book?
I'll tell you why we can't have
Okay,
the blue
let's
book.
just ground
You know,
ourselves here.
I was
Why
given
we're
that,
doing
all
it.
right, I'm gonna be open. I
Good.
was given that blue book and I didn't look at it for 3 months.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't have looked at it probably if I didn't do the procedures
Okay.
or the bylaws, to be
All right.
honest with you. Okay, I was, so I thought, since Jean brought up the fact she'd like to have bylaws, I knew nothing about how to write it up or anything like that.
We didn't balance.
Right, so anyway, so I continued with
Now
that
that's
with her.
evolved into procedures.
But then I
right?
realized, you know what? I can see that this is important. So then
Okay.
when it's knocked down from bylaws to procedures, I even like that better because when I found out bylaws is really tricky, you've got, so I said, okay, forget that. We just want, this is just a list of things just to go through so that a new member can get on board and not have to feel like, what am I doing? I feel like I'm, that's why.
Okay.
But then I said to myself, why am I doing that to Mary? She, so you are right. There is some crazy stuff going on. So
And
it's
I
fine.
think it is who we are.
That's right.
When you read the procedures,
It's
that's CYCOD.
right.
Amen.
Okay. So now we're gonna, so
So
we all agreed.
We
So
can
that's
take our
good.
time and get them down.
I promise
So
I
how
will
we
have
like it.
my suggestions by next meeting.
Yeah.
Promise, I promise.
Yeah, I feel bad. You put so much
You
on
heard
your
it
plate.
here first, folks.
John.
It'll be a new, something, a blue book. Wondering if it's the same book that I used to live in. Is this the building construction?
Oh, no.
No.
This is this is nothing like you had.
It's-
You had a big book.
it's-
Well, we're gonna tell them what-
It's the
We're gonna
board
tell
and
'em what it
commission,
is.
it's the board and commission
Yeah.
guidelines, but
Yeah.
it happens to be in a blue folder.
It's
It
on,
could-
it's on the internet, you can look at, you can read
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah. I gave you that information. See, I gave you the information. We don't
Yeah.
always get to what we're supposed to get to. That's why something short and sweet is nice.
That's great.
Okay, good. All right, so this is, now we're gonna get, we have to then It's on the town, yeah.
Okay.
YCOD brochures review, but, okay. You're welcome. Now, we had come, Jean and I are doing the health fair. And we wanted to pass something out to people. So what we did was we came up with a brochure, okay? But I made some changes because Jean commented something, and so I said, okay, fine. So when I started, you'd never want me to do something like that, because then I get into a little bit more. So I sent it over to Sarah. and
Excuse
she-
me one sec.
Yeah.
There, Gail revised them between the time that I sent it out and this meeting. So if you're looking
I
at the
know.
ones that were sent out, there's new copies
Yeah.
down there.
So please,
I just
Yeah.
wanted to point that out before.
thank you, I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Very
Because
good.
Jean had said to me, Gail, it says rental, it should be free, and I was, okay, so I redid that, okay. And then I said, oh, I might say where the splash pond is located at Sandy Pond Playground, so I threw that in there. And then the last part is the open, excuse me, the membership drive that Mary had, done. Condensed that, and then we put open memberships in the bottom, where the application, so I thought maybe that was important, so that they would know where to go to fill out the talent form. So basically, that's it. I did this on my computer, and my son helped me. I would never know how to do this. I was pasting. Remember, I was showing all the pasting? And he showed me how to do it. He was really very thoughtful, very kind. Usually gets upset with me.
That's great.
So he really helped me put it together. So we have now pictures, that I could track. So I just want you to go over this. And yes, you can change this. This is something that can be changed. If you want to make some changes, great. And then I can easily go back in, and I put it in a PDF file too, which I never did. So that was fun. I didn't want to bother Mary because
Doing so much of this, it's starting to be fun.
I always like doing
Pretty
this stuff.
cool.
I just didn't know how to do it. No.
What do you think
I
about
just
the
did-
word rental?
That's awesome.
About the
Mobile
what?
chair rental.
I love it.
Gonna leave it in? Rental?
Oh, yeah,
Do they
yeah.
have to pay?
No. It's,
She says there's no fee to rent,
There's one?
no fee to rent. That's what she has.
Oh,
if you Google, another thing, I want to say kudos to Anthony at Rec Department. He put it on the internet. And I was so happy, I had conversed with him and he took care of it. And so now when you Google Town of Yarmouth Moby Chair Rental, up comes Yarmouth. You could never find it.
oh,
It kept on,
oh, that's right.
yeah.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
You know me,
Yeah.
I don't love YCOD. I love YCOD, but I don't love
Yeah, but I like
YCOD.
YOC, why?
So I think that
What?
if you're gonna use it, that's fine. But at the top here where it has YCOD, I think you should put Yarmouth Commission on Disability and then put YCOD in parentheses.
Okay.
And you can use YCOD through the rest of the document, but
agree with
I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea,
And that's proper.
yes.
I have a comment as well. Make a difference, number 2, wheelchair bound individuals is a very outdated term.
Where am I going?
It says wheelchair bound individuals.
Where?
Which one was that? please?
Under make a difference,
Make a
number 2.
difference.
Okay.
Number two.
Number
It should
two.
be individuals that use wheelchairs.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that is a change in how people speak. It's a good one too.
Okay. Individuals that use
And this
wheelchairs.
is free, right?
I can do that.
This is free.
It's free to use the Moby.
Yes, it is.
So we have the term as rent.
Because you know why? Because they have
No.
to take a credit card. They need to take a credit card
they take a deposit, like a,
because if
they put a hold on your card until you return it.
if you return it off, it breaks, you know what I mean? It's free, but you gotta be careful with it.
It says
Okay.
it.
Says it
And
right
you're
here.
supposed to pick it up.
Yes.
It says
How
card
do you
information
pick
for
up
hire
that big thing And where do you put it?
No, that's not,
You're carrying the kid in a wheelchair.
not all areas you have to pick them up. Go into the website and you will see everything that's listed. It depends upon the number of lifeguards. It depends upon if they have storage at a certain beach. So there are beaches that have them there. People can order them and then they can bring them. Occasionally, they may not. They break down. They can be put in a big SUV in the back of a car. They're not that big once they break down. But basically, they are trying to accommodate, but it's sometimes they can't. So, I mean, I think we can't be everything to everybody. So you do the best you can.
And a lot of times.
And that's right. They'll take a truck. I'm sure they'll do that.
Yeah, I
So,
would think they would deliver them every morning.
So I'm gonna piggyback on what Mary said on number 3 under the mission. And where it says meet the problems, to change that to meet the needs.
That is
the
a
needs.
good change.
okay.
What is it?
So Mary, you should probably go through.
I already have.
That's
No, I
what
meant
wrote.
you better tell me so I can also change it on my.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna hand it to you in a minute.
Oh, okay, good,
The
okay.
word problems
Yeah.
to needs,
okay.
To what?
needs.
Oh, needs.
I went through this the other night and I.
Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you
So
so
there's
much.
a couple of places where you have like capital letters where it should be lowercase letters.
Okay.
On that very last
Thank you.
one under public accommodations,
Check for it.
contact us, period. We are here to help, like make it a new sentence. Those are my couple of comments.
Contact us. We are here to help.
Yeah.
Don't-
comma,
No, with questions or,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, this is for which health?
The senior
The
one.
senior one,
Mhm.
Drew's involved in that,
The age friendly.
age friendly, yeah.
Is this in your? What
Contact us.
is this happening?
I don't know when it's happening.
Drew, do you have a date for the health fair?
May 17th.
Just what? With what?
1 to 3 p.m.
Okay, contact us.
Period.
Period.
And then
Capital
capital W.
We are here to help.
Okay,
If you have questions, just call me.
yeah, busy.
1 to
I'll
3.
save all this.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right,
And,
Great job.
well,
I'm glad that you
it's a
guys
good
were able
job
to.
and,
were able to tell me. So this is Mary's.
under YCOD, our vision, the mission, and then listing 6 things.
Yeah.
I feel like the list of 6 things needs to have a heading.
Well, the heading, I didn't have
I can't
room.
think of a heading.
Let me tell you what the
Well,
heading
it's
is.
the charge.
It's the charge. I just didn't, I didn't
Our
have room.
charge.
It was gonna come into the next
That would be a
page.
great heading, yeah.
I know, but I couldn't.
I
do-
really miss that as a matter of style
But
and
in
clarity, but maybe it's okay. Maybe nobody else cares.
It does say the mission in bold, is that not?
Yeah, it kind of falls into line with
Well, you
that.
know what happened? I don't have enough
think the
ran out
list
of
should have
room
its own heading.
by one
Yeah.
little, and I couldn't change anything. I says,
You didn't have room.
You don't want to.
Well, now I know. Now I know.
Wacky.
I missed it. I missed the heading for that.
So one
list.
other really nitpicky thing,
Yeah.
as long as we're being really nitpicky.
I
So
can
you
control
have,
it.
you have our vision. And then you have the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our mission.
So it should be our
I
mission,
agree with that too.
our vision and our mission.
Correct.
Oh, okay, because I think on
It's
the,
better.
On the official form, it says the mission.
I don't
Yeah.
care. Who cares?
She doesn't
We're
wanna
opening
change
her
that
mind.
document.
We're opening.
Change
her-
it, baby.
Gail, just do it.
It's all
She
change.
don't sleep for nights.
no, I can say, but no, but you know what?
How are we
I
gonna
am
squeeze
like that,
a
am I?
bold-faced heading on your list? That's what I
I
wanna know.
really am kind of weird like that.
We all
Yeah.
are.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
tell me this is black, even though it's green, I'd say, okay. You know,
But
So,
great job.
That looks great.
good,
It's
so
really
we,
great.
so
Yeah.
we can. we
So
can-
nobody else is gonna lose any sleep for lack
No.
of a bold-faced
No,
heading on the list.
I'll
I'm
fix it.
amazed, because I am.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So we have,
Can't fit, okay, oh well.
The
Okay.
only other comment I wrote on my issue is just,
this is yours.
yeah, to maybe have your son check that the font size and the same font is being used. Because Because I think if you look at it close, the fonts might be a little different.
Okay, I got
Just
to check
check
once.
that.
All right. Well, he
Here-
Say
left.
make the font bigger.
Here's my last,
My son left, so
Here's
now
my
it's
last
on me.
thing.
What?
have a fun day at the beach.
Go ahead.
There is no fee to rent a Moby floating beach wheelchair. Moby floating beach wheelchairs are free to use.
Right.
So just say that. And then you can still leave the credit card.
Well, because you know why? I was trying to use the word rent to counteract the other rental. That's why I used
I
that word.
wouldn't, no, you're not renting I would just, that's just the other thing. that
I know,
I think
well,
it's fine.
okay.
Moby wheelchairs are free. That would be nice.
Oh, because it says Moby chair rental.
That's right. That's what I
There
was
is no
trying,
Moby chair rental.
I was trying to
Just take the
counteract
word
that.
rental out.
I can't because
If
it's.
that's
part-
what's on the website.
it's on the
so She's
website.
trying to align it with what
you
Anthony
know
has, so
what?
if someone Googles it, they'll find it.
Why
Right.
don't you take rental?
He's using that intentionally because you have to give a
card,
credit
yeah.
card.
Right.
yes.
If you read the
Okay.
whole thing, it
I'm
tells you
done.
certain stuff.
I'll
Okay,
sleep now.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So as we move on,
Now I can
milestone.
sleep, and I
Good
can enjoy it.
job.
So
Good job, everybody.
Head on the pillow tonight. It's gonna be-
okay, so
We did all we could.
we'll bring this back. We'll be both back for a vote next month. So the next thing is the milestones. This is really good. March and April. Mary, you're on.
Oh my God.
Well, you're just telling us how Christina loved.
Or I don't. copy of it.
I have it right here. This is the new thing I
I don't
wrote.
know if everyone saw the article that was partially put in the milestones with a link to the website. She was just, those of you that were at the event, you
Yeah.
got to meet Christina firsthand, but they did, put a good amount of the article in the milestones. If you haven't seen it, we have copies at the visitor center or
Right.
obviously at the senior center, but yes, great job.
Yeah,
Got
it was a
done.
good job. Yeah.
And it is right on our website.
It is on the
It's right
website.
on the disability
Yeah, you
page,
did.
front
Yeah,
and center,
it
yeah.
is.
You did that. really
Yeah.
Well,
well.
that's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Have a copy of this?
That's way
Oh, yeah,
cool.
gotta send those down. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
I have one already.
This, I have an idea on this. That's why I did this. What, from the
I have it.
breakfast. You can have the rest, from the breakfast. Okay, so now May and June, Jean and Drew are going to do the CAM article, right?
And we have to submit that by April 1st. Is that true?
April, May, June. Yep.
Submit it when?
I would submit it a week before, not even by then. I submit it always a week before April 1st, so the last coming up in March. Next week.
I think what you're saying is this, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, that you, if you had to do it, you would submit it at the beginning of the last week of this month,
Yes.
but the official drop dead deadline would be April 1st, but you wouldn't want to. push
No,
it
because
to
you're
that
gonna be
date.
giving it to me and I'm gonna look it over and then I'm gonna
Oh,
talk to
that's
her.
what you
and then-
think.
Well, no, what I do is then I go there and I, with my hat and head and say, could you please put this in because they cut us shorter and shorter and shorter. So I'm trying to advocate for us.
So you want us to write a blurb about our CAM survey
Yeah, yeah.
specifically.
Just, like what it's all about and
More
the
people
benefits
that's
of it.
Smaller thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
and maybe it'll be a little shorter than the one about Christina.
It
'cause
has to
won't
be a lot short.
A lot.
And you know what?
Yeah,
I
like it's
apologize. I
literally
have
2
all,
paragraphs.
I picked up all
Okay.
the brochures, like the milestone newspaper, whatever. They're in my car. I'm sorry. I forgot to bring them in. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna write a short blurb.
Yeah.
Would you guess?
I would say it's gonna be like this short, right here.
Like 2 paragraphs.
Paragraph,
Two
yeah.
paragraphs?
Yeah,
What
that's
they
it.
put in was what.
See, so it's not too hard of a job, Gene.
No,
Short. It's not gonna be too hard because it needs to be short.
it's gonna be short and sweet.
It's like that long.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not nothing much.
I wish I had known that one.
Yeah.
What did you say, Richard? No,
That's,
you would have read it?
I would have been much, no, I didn't say-
Show me what you're
I
pointing
didn't
out.
say I
to
would
me.
write it for you. You're cute.
Is
You're
it
cute, but that's it.
Cute, but no, I'm not.
Cute doesn't always win the day. baby.
She is cute, though, isn't she? Look
Yeah.
how she-
It doesn't mean you always.
It was
win
a
your
good
point.
try,
Not when
though.
people get used to it.
Try.
Once I get used to it, then
Well, now we need a volunteer for July and August. So who would like to do July and August?
Why are you looking at me like
We're
that?
taking turns around the room.
she already
John,
volunteered to
wait,
be the
you wanna-
nominating committee.
John's out of the committee, and he would have taken July and
Well,
August.
he's our guest editor.
I like that.
Show a little creativity
That
here.
might be a good idea.
Yes.
Could we do that? We have John as our guest editor.
course we
I'm
can.
serious.
What, is there a law against
I
it?
think that would be a good idea,
It
John.
was-
John, this will give you a good insight of what you're coming into.
I'm so grateful
think
for the
he's already
wonderful.
done.
I mean,
fabulous
wait a
people.
minute, I'm just gonna say that we already identified what you were gonna write about, didn't we?
For July.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Very good. You have personal experience. You're a
That's right.
consumer of
You're
the
good.
service. That is a good,
See, I got hooked.
ah,
Okay, so
well,
I
this
have,
is for the future. This isn't something you
That's
have to worry
because
about
she's set up
today.
for the nominating
John, I'll
committee.
work with you on that.
Oh, my God.
This isn't something you would have to do until June.
John,
I'm
it's
gonna-
You know what? I
I'm
have
putting
thought,
John down.
if you feel like you need assistance with that,
Mhm.
Alexa is also a consumer RTA. You can have her help you write that.
Yeah.
Who's Alexa?
It's one of my staff who is, she takes the bus to work every day. She's
I have a
visually
good
impaired.
idea.
Oh,
not a
Why
robot,
don't the two of them
but,
get together? Oh, I would like that.
that.
That's even better.
John, are you willing to do
Honestly, I
that?
honestly thought you could go to Alexa.
Alexa, write me an
What's the
article.
drop dead? What's my drop dead date on this?
June
thing?
something, right?
June something, okay.
So you
June-
have
June
John's
1,
phone
right?
number.
June 1.
Jessica, could you please
June
get
1 is
John's
the-
phone number?
We have it.
Oh, good. And then you know what? Alexa and John can come together, and I just need it, well, we'll talk about it because it's way off.
Do you have Alexa on your kitchen counter?
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're all
I have a
set.
Google
Perfect.
I never-
Okay, we're gonna re-
You've
Oh,
got 4 minutes.
Okay, I got it.
She goes,
All right, report on the Aging Disability Consortium Legislation Breakfast. Mary, can you give us like a second, 1 millisecond on that?
Is this recorded?
Oh,
When did you get that?
Jessica.
Um,
Make it a second.
Great turnout. All of our state delegation that was, registered to be there were there.
They were impressive.
They were impressive. There were lots of thoughts and ideas
Wonderful.
shared.
Yes.
There seems to be a really good understanding of what our needs are in our community, our unique little peninsula. So yeah, it was a good showing. It was a
Good.
good time.
Legislative
Everybody
breakfast,
really, and
right?
thank you to everybody for showing up. That
And
was,
That was, a
great to
g-
see
it
you
was,
all.
it was really a good
it was good to
event.
see you guys outside of this room.
Yeah, it was a good event.
Really?
Yeah. it was a
Okay, so
great
we're
event.
moving on now to the hiring of people with disabilities. That was a great, great event. It was very eye-opening. Mary,
Thank you.
it was really, Mary was the moderator, did an awesome job. And I'm going to segue to something real quick. Your inspiration of what that whole panelist and Teddy and what Christina and how proud they were. I said, you know what? I have an idea about October, but we're going to do it early. We're going to celebrate it all year. October is National Disability Employment Awareness Month, right? So we want to make Christina the headliner, okay? All right. And then make a difference. And we put this together, this was put together. You can read it and go over it. I don't know if you can list the, the organizations with their phone numbers. I was conferring with my son on this. Ron had said to me, Mom, a lot of people aren't going to go to the internet. And if you're trying to get people to hire disabled people, because he says, you want to have something very readily available so that when you pass it out, they can call, these organizations. I don't know which organizations do this, like what Gretchen did.
You would know.
So, right,
So
so
you would know.
For
Is there-
adults and for youth, we have 2 different programs.
So what I'm thinking was you guys can think about it because you're more in that business than I am. Look this over because Gretchen, the gal that you introduced and her husband, they were very inspirational, which leads me to this real quick. I was at this restaurant today and I was so impressed with the background of it. It's a brand new restaurant. It's in Dennis, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're owned by 3 entrepreneurs. They all work together in the restaurant business. And they decided we're opening a restaurant. I met the owner, Paula. I spoke to her. I asked the server, Anthony, if they were looking for any help, and he says, yes, we are. So I mentioned your Christina, how, and what they do and what Teddy and stuff like that. So she said, definitely. She says she's very interested. I say, you a member of the chamber? She goes, yes, I am.
Oh, good.
So I would like to give you this
Okay.
and also her card. And if you could reach out to her and possibly maybe Gretchen can introduce herself, and it'd be nice to get the ball rolling. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I was thinking we can actually do that. You go to a restaurant and you could just say, hey, you guys need some help? I also was in the swimming pool, talked to a girl named Susan.
I have to leave. now,
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, that's
Bye-bye.
okay.
You
Bye,
have a
Drew.
forum, so you can vote on the
Thank
minutes
you.
and stuff.
So anyway, so
Thanks, Drew.
I talked to Susan. She works in very many different fields on the Cape, hotels and stuff like that. We're all looking for help. So I said, would you mind talking to the chamber president? She goes, no, I'd love to. And then she will give you some insight. So maybe we
great.
could, wouldn't that be nice if we can get?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that. So this is something that's just an idea. I want you to mull it over, you guys, think about it and see what you can come up with.
Okay.
May I add my 2 cents? The average businessman, the pizza maker, they don't know who to contact. I think, Mary, if you think about it, when you send out your newsletter,
Mhm.
maybe put in some of the contacts, like Mass Rehab, Community Connections, whatever, and encourage them a little bit to hire.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, like I said the other day, I think a lot of people don't even know these programs exist that
Right.
that are business owners.
Exactly.
So I think maybe Jessica and I can work on
Absolutely.
a way that we could, like, all the chambers on the Cape have their newsletters that they send out, so maybe we can ask them that, we can come up with a standard thing and say, hey, would you send this out? March or I would say
Mhm.
April at this point, because there was not enough people at that event the other day.
I
To
know.
hear,
I'm so disappointed.
I mean, that kid Teddy, working at that restaurant was amazing. He was, yeah. And we're so understaffed in every business on the Cape when we go.
I
I know, and
Yeah.
you have
I know.
viable people that are willing, and if you
And they're
read,
more eager. than
Right, and-
anyone to work.
Oh, my God.
exactly, and it says it right
Exactly.
here, make a difference, and it
Mm.
says here, hire a loyal, hardworking and eager to help workforce for this hectic tourist season. Numerous training programs are available right now to businesses free of charge. I think it's free of charge, right? Gretchen, she will go out,
Oh,
yeah, right.
But
working-
we pay the staff, just like we would pay anybody.
No,
else.
I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
they're free. And working with these organizations to help train employees is a win-win for all.
What I'd like to know, and I
So-
want to learn this from you at one point, because I was thinking about calling David Botting, but when David and I see each other, we're doing other stuff, but the difference between the programs, like what's the difference between the capabilities work program to CCIs to yours, like, are there differences in the programs that would be beneficial for one type of business to a different type of business, so I won't take up the time.
That's very
today.
good. No, that's really,
But
that's a good,
It
see,
would take
good
just to
insight.
educate myself on that.
The article.
I don't, next week,
Good try.
as soon as I walk out of the store, I'm actually on vacation until Tuesday.
Good for you.
But next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll text you and I'll set up the time.
Yeah,
We can meet over the phone. I can come to the office, whatever works.
we go for coffee, but just so I
like that.
learn, because I think I know all the different programs,
Yeah.
but I don't know the differences.
Could I
between them.
be involved in that just to?
No.
Wow, okay.
Of course you can.
Because I really would like to have that, just to have.
Well,
an
keep
insight.
in mind that October.
That's
is
right.
Disability.
That's why we,
Awareness
even
Month.
Jean, if we could just listen just to what's going on, because we want to do something in October.
Okay.
And John, you can come if you
That
want
might
to
be
come.
Why don't we just, you can't have the whole committee. We'll
Okay.
Be in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, I forgot.
Well, you
All right.
can, we just have to post an agenda.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, you can do that if you like.
If all of us get, if we all get together outside of our monthly meetings, we have to post an agenda.
Yes. The meeting was.
What about if we get together like a party or something? We
Yeah, what if
can't?
it's just?
I mean,
on
what if
a-
we all know each
Are you
other.
gonna be talking about business related to your
Okay.
position on the Disability Commission?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, you have to worry about open meeting laws.
Oh, yeah,
Two
get
or
it.
more. we can-
And,
But if
and
I'm talking about services that I provide outside of the commission, like for court,
Which is what you're gonna be doing.
which is what I'm gonna be doing.
And she's good, yeah.
two members of the Commission on
Yeah, see.
Disability.
I'm not-
I mean,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
only suggestion is just that we post an agenda and then you can have a
I just
meeting.
wasn't aware that that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
open meeting. law.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll record it for you. We're only kidding, Sarah. We're only kidding.
That brings us to conflict of interest. Have we all signed on and did our thing? Are you fully?
Is that what this form is?
No, conflict of interest is
It's
It's
a
just-
state,
It's like a 10 minute.
every year you gotta
do.
Is that the link that you sent me?
Yes.
Nothing to that. I
Could you
did
send it to me
mine.
again?
Okay,
I didn't even print it.
And I'm gonna write it.
No.
send a link. Okay, I gotta write that down.
I hope so. My nose isn't growing yet. But he did do it.
All right, I didn't ask Drew if he did his.
I think he said he did it. the
I
Okay.
think he did.
Mary,
meeting
did you?
and the one
Mary,
before.
did- okay, so Jessica, you're on vacation. I'll send it to you after vacation. Okay. All right. So the next one is goals. We already talked about the awareness, right? We're gonna do employees. We got the initiative going this year, so we'll just, follow up on that. We're getting close. Motion to accept February minutes. Looking for a motion from the floor to accept the March minutes,
So,
I have a question.
you mean February minutes.
February minutes, excuse me.
Yeah. One of the things I thought would be really terrific for us to have there is a copy of the ADA book and also a copy of the Blue Book, which is in construction architects Blue Book is what it's called. It has all the handicap code, everything is in it. The pounds, the door, all that stuff.
Well, see, and I look at it this way. When you come on board, that's gonna be your forte. No, seriously, I'm not trying to be rude, because you know what? That in itself is a huge responsibility, right? So then you would be the guru. We would come to you and say, okay, what do we do? And then maybe we could do like a 5-minute or 10-minute on educational thing, and you could explain something. But I wouldn't want to be interested in that, to be honest with you. I'm not even,
He could have a copy of the handbook too.
yeah, no, but I'm talking about this big book that he's talking, this big book. I'm not,
Oh,
are you
the
interested?
binder.
Are you interested in learning about that?
just because my husband was a contractor, I knew that book inside and out, but I haven't looked at it in
And then
probably
when it's
10 plus
changed
years.
I mean, I'm not
yearly,
saying
you
it,
get that.
somebody should know it, but I'm not get too much on my plate.
I think we could refer to it when we need it.
Yeah, right, that's good.
No, it's definitely, like I mentioned, when we're gonna become aficionados, we should have, that. That's bylaws for the state, we have to live and die by it no matter what. So we can't go in.
That's if we do, right, we're doing the camp things, yeah. Well,
We can't take and impose a law that we think is. what is it?
We don't
We don't do
impose
laws.
laws though on this. The
Well,
commission
submit a
doesn't
letter.
have,
Submit a letter to a client or a business versus the town of Yarmouth.
see, the building inspector takes care of that, really, doesn't
Well,
he?
no, when we
Yeah.
submit the letter to a building, it would not be through us, it would be the state of Massachusetts. Code bylaw, boom, 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 and comes from
Yeah, but that,
Yarmouth Disability Commission.
it doesn't though. Those kinds of enforcement would come from the town's building commissioner.
and John,
We wouldn't be enforcing building code.
Correct. Or.
John, let me just say this, because we're running out of time. I know where you're at, because we were at that point before, until we realized we're not. Yeah, commission, you can go out and do, no, we're to educate and we're just to assist. Yes, we know the knowledge, but we're not to be doing anything like that. So that's why it's important that we have procedures and we have who we are as an identity. I always had an identity crisis as being on the commission. No, really, if you think about it, I did. I didn't know. I mean, even Drew, he thought so when he was doing the camp thing, he thought, it's crazy. It's kind of like we're a schizophrenic organization. We only could do a little part of it. And I'm going to just briefly just tell you this. I used to work for a company where I would get the client to go and look at something, a very $5,000 piece of equipment, and the salesperson would drop the ball. I would say, what the heck happened? I couldn't control the whole thing. We can't control the whole thing here. And that's really hard to do, right? We only get a little piece of it.
Well,
But-
my concern is that we do not want to be submitting information or letters to property owners and people who may be violating something. And we're incorrect in what we're submitting to them.
I work in, when letters like that go out, I have our building commissioner look at them too, before I send them.
And we investigate, by investigating, meaning that we send the department in the town that is, right, that knows about what needs to be done to go and take care of it and then report back to us. We're just sort of like the middle, we don't, right?
Do you have
So
that?
would we,
Do you have
per
that?
se,
Oh, yeah,
submit something to the
I
building
have
inspector?
them all
Just
the way.
That says like,
I have them all the way around.
this door is supposed to have 5 pound weight on it, and he's supposed to be held.
No,
So
see,
somewhere along the
so,
lines-
so this is kind of the challenge with some of this stuff. Many of these businesses are not out of compliance. If you've done construction, you know that if there's a lot of things that get grandfathered in based on what the that they were being built. So if they're not doing new work, they're not out of compliance. So in that case, we can kindly ask them and educate them and let them know that they would be more accessible if they made changes. But they're not out of compliance if they're not required to do it. I mean, that's why we were kind of celebrating the landlord that was so open to making changes, because he wants to do the right thing for the consumers. But he didn't have, like, he could have come in here and said, I'm not out of compliance, and, if we ever do work again and we pull a permit, then maybe we'll do it then, but I'm not out of compliance. They didn't. So I think that's kind of the line we walk a little bit, is people bring things to this commission's attention, and we are kind of the intermediary to say, hey, this was brought to our attention and we want to bring it to your attention. And, we've been very fortunate in the open-mindedness of our local businesses to, really pay attention and look at things. But I mean, when that gentleman came to my office, I said to him, look, you haven't really done anything. You're not out of compliance per se, but in order to be more accessible to the consumers, there's some recommendations that we have for you, and we would appreciate you considering them. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. So the book, yes, it's relevant because it's good to know, but in most of these circumstances, it's not a situation where they're out of compliance. They are for like handicapped accessible parking. That's a compliance issue, but again, it's even, a little bit of a slippery slope with that.
Remember, one of the things that you had stated, which proves the validity of the book, you said that things are grandfathered. Where did you learn that? In the book.
Mhm.
So these are just things that help us. assist
Yeah.
us. I'm not saying we have to live and die by it. It's something I had to do. So I mean, it's a piece of cake. Just read it.
And that's where we benefit from resources like our different town departments that are kind of and advise us on, okay, where are those lines and things like
John, I'm
that.
going to
So-
give you some information before we leave on CAM. There's going to be a CAM 2-day seminar, and it's going to be on Zoom. I think you would be interested in going because you have that all that background. So I'll make sure that I'll give you that before you leave.
So this is the training
Yeah.
that Jean went through in order to do these community access monitoring. And yeah, that would be really
Right, that
great
would be
if we
great.
would consider
Because
that.
that will really help you understand what they do, because a lot of, anyway, yeah, okay, good.
Did we have a motion about the minutes?
Yes, we're gonna do that. And Mary made the motion, and who seconded it?
I second.
Okay, we have Mary. And then we have Jessica seconded.
And you don't need to do roll call because we don't have anyone on.
Right.
Did anyone else?
So
take
do I
the
hear-
advanced hand training yesterday?
No.
No one did it. I did.
You did?
I did.
Thank you.
Most boring thing in my life.
Honest, Judy.
It is now to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Any opposed? No discussions? The ayes have it. That passes. Next is the adjourning. Motion to adjourn,
So we're.
Second.
and then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Does anyone
Ayes
know,
pass.
please?
Thank you.